Look what I'm accomplishing, guys. Look at that. They're going nuts, though. They're trying to, bring in more and more people. Look how clear this is. I've never experienced this in my whole entire life, what I'm looking at right now. My whole entire life in this country for 29 years, I haven't experienced this. Well, maybe when I first came here. There's two assholes over there moving. Look. Because I have to still see things moving the whole time. I can't possibly get 2 minutes without seeing something move in front of me. Bird, car, honking, noise, people, anything. There has to be either movement or noise everywhere I go. So I stay stressed. So they picked up the biggest genius on the planet and they did this to him. So he won't be able to think. They're afraid of him. I'm sorry to be, to say that, to be grandiose, but that's what this case seems like. I don't want to be that person, but that's what they're making me feel I am. Why else would they invest all this madness into it? Look, 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 right away. And someone walking there in front of me, look. They're not really walking, they're just standing waiting for me, like barely walking. Now he puts his arm up and I look at him. I'm going to show you today, I'm going to move people like clowns. Look, as soon as it's turned that way, a car comes in. Just so you know, it has to do with my view. This is where I can prove it to you. Look, everywhere I look, there has to be movement. Look at the kid running over there. See that in the background? Now, if I go here, there's no movement. Something will come eventually. Keep looking. Because there's nothing there. There's no movement. There has to be movement or some scream. A car is going to pass by any minute. Now that I said that, they won't bring one, which is good. Let's get to relax and look at the clear view. I'm looking this way. You gotta remember the IC about 180 degrees. So I'm looking at this. Look how beautiful it is. Wow. Look how peaceful this is. A car has to come by here to ruin it. And all these cars parked on the side streets, guys, that's them. Any street you go to, there's no, look, 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 look. See, what did I tell you? So he thinks less people will expose him less. But, I made another video before this one, and I told you, it's not the machine or the prison that's rusted. It's the frame of mind that built this prison that was born rusted and will die rusted. Because when you want 2 plus 2 equal to 5, then you're a psychopath. And if you get away with it because you have so much money and you abuse an orphan who has nobody looking out for him, but then when that orphan becomes a real man and wakes up, you pin the whole city against him and you lose. What does that tell you? Sorry guys, I like to rub it in his face every now and then because he keeps rubbing things in my face all day long. It doesn't mean that I have to act like him, but it's good to tell him what he is every now and then and prove it to the people on the ground. The people on top that ordered this, what they're like and how they're losing a game to one person all alone with no friends, no help, no money, nobody. Look how beautiful this is. Wow. This is heaven. I have never experienced this in this country, guys. Maybe when I first came here the first couple of years, because the outside wasn't tapped too much enough. It was only in my home where they were moving and moving the whole time and making noise. It was my mother and brother, and it wasn't that bad at first. So how could they put things like that to throw you off? Most people don't leave their keys outside of their house. I guess they're trying to make me take the keys and open the door and go inside so I can get charged for something. They're dying to get me charged. Lately, every time I make a small video, look, 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 a cop shows up. Every time I pull up the phone and start recording, I see a cop car within 2 minutes. They're threatening me a lot lately. That we're on to you, we're watching you closely now. Any little move you make that's wrong, we're throwing you in prison. Because they're desperate. Look, there's a car. See, it won't take long. I have to see movement. I can't relax and get peace. Look, another one. Look. Okay, guys? I don't like making too many of these videos anymore because there's nothing to prove. I've proved everything to you about 100 times. All you have to do is watch 2 minutes of my videos and just look at the cars parked on the side streets where I go. It's madness. What are they doing here? These are the guys that replace the people in the houses, that pretty much sit and force the people in the houses to stay in a room somewhere if I pass by or knock on the door. So I don't end up meeting real people. They can't kick them out of the house. The ones that can send them away, they'll send them away somewhere. But most of them are still inside if they were in the house when I pass by here. So I have to fill up the whole neighborhood, the houses, the buildings, in case I go into any one of them. So I lose contact with real people completely. I'm cut off from the world. And this evil bubble that just precedes me everywhere I go and surrounds me within 2-mile radius. If I go right, it's there. If I go left, that's why they bullshit it with these tickets on my license, $15,000. Because if I could drive right now, I could probably ditch this in a day. One day I'll ditch it. One day. You know, if I was capable to drive. And all the taxis around me, all the Ubers, they're all tapped in on it. So, look, move. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Most of them can't speak English. So they cut down the movement now when I stare at them. It's something like a vibrational technology, I think. Listen, listen. So they gotta park somewhere to make the noise, lift up, to put up the stereo or talk inside. But overall, it's pretty calm. Now they sent someone here, look. So I have to always see things moving, always see things moving. That's why this big, huge train of cars around me everywhere I go. About at least 200-300 cars pass by me within 2-3 minutes. I'm not kidding, guys. Watch my videos. 5 minutes maybe. See, and those noises. Whenever they can't make much movement, I'm too relaxed, they create noise. They want to keep me tense, keep me stressed, so I can't think, I can't function. Now, the only person you would do this to is someone who actually has a brain and can use it. You know? Sorry, I didn't say that right. I must have offended enough people. Excuse me for being, crude sometimes. I'm just, these guys always have me stressed out. I can't think right sometimes. But, look at this bitch. What is she doing on the street with that cart on a Sunday? But that's what they want. Look. They're talking loud, too. That's how it is. They wanna... So, guys, you see how I relaxed a bit? I was feeling so good. And boom! All this madness started. Look. Because I can't. I'm not allowed to do that. Because if I relax straight for 2-3 days, I'll start to think properly. Then I'll probably get out of this in an hour. But that's the whole point of wrapping you into this prison, is for you to be tense all the time and deprived of everything that makes you feel good. Because if you feel good and you're relaxed, then you can think straight, then you can come out of it in 2 seconds. You don't have to be intelligent to come out of this. It's common sense. There's a bubble that precedes you. You have to get to real people. How do you do that? You either have to get there fast before they do, which is really difficult, or you have to get in touch with someone on the outside world through a phone and prove to them what's going on. Because right now they're surrounding me within a mile. They have people standing by at the places that I usually call, that they know I've called before, in case I call so I don't get a real person on the phone. But a lot of places that they don't know about, that I have to call and prove to that person what's going on in this world. That by the time I get to her store or his office or her office, they're going to come up with a stupid excuse to get them out of there. A fire, an emergency, a bomb threat, or whatever. Any kind of thing. And the problem with doing that is, I have to be careful because they're trying to arrest me and make an excuse so they can throw me in jail. Because outside they're very stressed. I can meet real people anytime and I'll fuck this up for them. So what they're trying to do, if I do call people and tell them something or whatever, I have to be careful. Because if I'm there, they'll bring in one of their people to make a problem and say that I'm with them. So they can arrest me. They're trying to find any possible way to arrest me. Tiger! Tiger! I call the dogs tigers. But that's the problem. That's what happened with them. I was a kid. I was an orphan. They put me on this leash in this fake world. And they realized, not now, a long time ago, that I was a tiger. And now they're having a huge problem. Their arm's about to be bitten off because this tiger wants to come out of this invisible prison. And that's what's going to happen in the end. Move. See? Watch, every guy look at it. Move. Move. So they're all inside the stores too. As soon as I see them, they move. Look, as soon as I get here, they're gonna start moving now. Look, movement. See, she put her arm down. As soon as I get there, look at them. Move. So I'm the director. I've always been the director. I just have to know how to direct. I can tell them to move. I can tell them to stop moving very easily. All I have to do is look at them. They start moving. Look away, they stop moving. So I recorded a video, guys, for you. I call it, I put a song on there, you know, and I show you how every time I look at them, I keep the camera on them like this, and I tell you, okay, now I'm moving my head away. And you see them, they stop moving. And then I tell you, now I'm looking at them, and then they start moving again. Okay, to show you that all I have to do is move and look at them, they start moving. Or they come already. By the way, you see a lot of women that look like this usually. Not really exactly like this, because this is, you know, sort of along, you know, some men like skinny women, some men like bigger women or whatever. This is another one, psychological warfare that they try to put. It's like putting someone in prison, depriving him of something, and teasing him with it all day long. That's why I call it the Truman Show, the torture version. The real life Truman Show, that's what it is. It's basically teasing you with something that's not, you can't get it stable, you know, and you're in prison. This is a prison. Move. There we go. So now we'll see a cop car soon that I'm talking on the phone recording, because they want to make an excuse to try to someone say, oh, this guy said this to me, or he did that to me, or he's crazy, he's talking to himself or whatever. So they're trying to come up with an excuse to throw me in jail. Any excuse, because they've used provocation for a year now. The provocation that, see, she turns around. What does she show? At the perfect time that I get close by. Okay, this is the on the street Zanzibar. So now it breaks up as I get close, and the loud talking and the fart. You know, you guys see the trick. And here we go now with the people, disabled people. I see them all day long. That's another characteristic of them, you know. They try to show me a lot of disabled people. I don't know why. Maybe they think it depresses someone to see disabilities around them all day long. Whether it's electric wheelchairs, whether it's, look, they're gonna move. See how they're moving? Look, they move. Guys, this is what I want you to look at. Look. As soon as I look at them, they either go like this, move their head, or look down, or scratch their eyes, or their arm goes down, or they put their hand in their purse, anything like that, sudden movement. I want you to look at that. And as soon as I look at them, now what they're doing is, because I figured it out and they know about it, they're making them either walk or do not very sudden movements that are obvious. You guys know that, because they have everyone around me. They type back, not everyone, certain people, they type back to them what I say, how I say it, if I'm stressed, if I'm relaxed, you know. And the idea in this is, if you make a goal in the morning, you wake up, your goal today is to, I don't know, something, let's say A. So if your goal is A, along the path, not to let them distract you and stress you. The idea is to get to your goal. Now, you could do certain things on the way to make yourself more comfortable, or to try and grab proof or anything. But you have to get to your goal as comfortable as possible. So if a route, see how she lifted up her thing, she changed the bags as soon as she passed by here from one arm to the other. So guys, look at that guy in the car. As soon as I looked at him, he moved his arm. He was like this. He had it in his mouth. He put it on the steering wheel. So guys, you have to hook that guy over there. See, he looked at that woman that just walked in. Any reason to move and move back. So move, look, and move back as I'm looking at them. When I look away, they don't move. And as soon as I look back quickly, they move. See, he moved his arm, went back, looked at me. That's how it is, guys. Anyways, the idea is now they're gonna start the talking loud. So guys, you have to get to your goal when you're in my shoes. Let's say today my goal is to, I don't know, be able to have a meal for $5, not spend 10, for example. Do not let them make you do something else on the way there or when you get there. Because you gotta remember, these are all distractions all around you. Oh, it's a toughie. You know? It's distractions and annoyances. Get to your goal and always have a goal. It doesn't matter if, because these guys, what they do to you is they tap your internet, they prevent you from getting a job. If you open your own business, they'll screw it up for you. Like, you know about my websites, I had them ready right away. Squarespace just dumped me out of there for no reason. They go, you broke one of the guidelines. I go, what guidelines did I break? They couldn't say anything. He just said, no, we're not giving you your money back. Get out of here, kind of thing. Can you believe it? A big, important company on the internet like that. It's government. They're making this. They can even tell me what guideline I broke. I told them, tell me what the guideline is, I'll change it. And if it's too late, that's fine. At least let me know what I did wrong. They couldn't tell me. I have the email still. So guys, yeah, they cut off your goals in life. When a man doesn't have a goal or a job or something to work on, you're excuse my language, screwed. And then anything affects you because you're miserable. Anything, noise, this, that. So that's the idea of this weapon. First and foremost, the most important thing is to cut off your hope. You see in the Truman Show how at the beginning, I want to be an astronaut. Oh, it's all taken. I want to be this. Oh, it's all done. I don't remember the movie. I haven't really seen it that many times. But, well, what do you think they did to me? Cut me off from every single job I applied for. And then I was smart enough to start my own business. What did they do? This shit you see around me to make me miserable. Couldn't even, you know what I mean? So it was a miracle that I even succeeded in doing that kind of business to begin with, showing my character. So they open the door as I get there. They start doing stupid things outside on a Sunday, preparing for the store or whatever. You gotta stay calm. So anyways, yeah, so because you have no goals, even if your goal is small, something like, you know, like I said, give you an example. I don't know, saving $5 on a meal today. Go for that goal and accomplish it. Because you have to feel that you're still competent. Because there's a huge attack on your self-esteem, on your motivation, on your psyche, what this is all around you. It's a huge warfare being, you know, a psychological warfare. So you have to be strong-minded and you have to be dedicated. And you have to always make small goals and accomplish them. See what they throw on my trail? To make yourself feel functional. You're still a functional human being. So those attacks don't affect you much. You have to do that. And that's what I think I've done throughout my whole life, being enslaved by this entity. I've always looked forward to small things. When I was in Cuba the last time, this is when it got really tight. That's when the major sort of sexual deprivation started with me. It wasn't around all along. It was mostly when I woke up, when I decided I really want to get off the drugs. That's a big problem to them because then I'll start thinking I could wake up, and that's what happened. So when I did that in Cuba the last time, 2015, 16, that's when they started to sort of sexually deprive me. In terms of, well, I've always been with women that pretty much were from this world, you know, prepped to do this. But to me back then, it was all I knew. That's not the point. The point is, as soon as I started sort of getting strong, for some reason, guys, I was in a country like Cuba, you know, I'm a tourist. Down there, you know, we're kings. That's how you got to look at it. Not to every woman, but, you know what I mean, to generally, whatever's around you. And slowly, this is what helped me wake up. Because I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, what's going on here? This is Cuba, I'm here. I'm like, I could do whatever I want down here. How come things are changing? How come I'm being ignored? Not just by women, by men, by everything. You know what I mean? This is the wake-up process, you see, because they tightened up the rope on me and they're trying to deprive me of things that, you know, are a necessity to us. Because that's how you get broken. And then the teasing started more and more. It's been around the whole time to keep you always thinking about meaningless things. Be interested in thinking all the time about stupid things that don't really move you forward or help you find out that you're in a prison, you need to come out. So I guarantee you these broomsticks were not here before we got here. They set it up. There's nothing out here but broomsticks. You guys know about the cleaning. It's to keep you disgusted thinking of dirt, whether it's shit on your trail, clean a watch. Move. All of them. Talk. Stop talking. I could do anything I want. I'm the director. So that's how it is. Look at them stop over there. So see, as you guys see, they cut down on the movement. So they just walk towards me, walk away. They don't scratch their ears, their eyes, their butts, move their hat up and down, swing their legs. They don't do that anymore. You know, because it's pretty obvious. But then again, if they don't do that, you don't get stressed. That's what stresses you. See that girl over there? She looked at me, she looked down again and put down. She lifts her hand, scratches her head really far away. But that's what they used to do a lot back in the days. They don't do it as much anymore because I pretty much make them move like a clown for an hour if I want to. All I have to do is look at them the whole time. So, but they're trying to change it. It's a rusted prison that they're trying to, you know, make it new again. Look down and up. Oh, that's a classic. Up and down like this. Look. That's a classic. You see it everywhere. And noise. The noise kicks in when there's not that much movement around you usually. It's a second, no, it's actually a primary element. But as you see, I get busier and busier around me with a bunch of people walking like the attack of the zombie. They're sort of like attacking. You see, running towards you, passing really fast by you. See, as soon as I look at them, they move. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look inside the store. Let's see if they move. Look. See how you saw movement right away? The guy got up. He was down there. He sat on the computer now. There we go. Everything moving in motion. I made a small video for you guys. I called it Locomotion. It's a song from the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. I was an 80s kid. So locomotion. Loco in Spanish is crazy. Motion is movement. When you get a lot of movement around you, movement, drives you crazy. It drains you of everything. So, therefore, that song, Locomotion. These guys tell us what to see. Look up, look down, scratch your hair, your eyes, your ass, anything. At least they're not talking. So, pointing. Pointing is a big thing with them. So they're trying to stress me, but the idea is to stay quiet and stay calm. Can't get the locomotion make you loco, man. Can't let all that motion make you loco. What you can do is, like I did, try to figure out the sort of what connects us, the vibrational technology or the chip, whatever it is, and use it against them to my own benefit. Look at them when I want and me make them move when I want. I was always done that, but I was never aware of it. Now that I'm aware of it, that every time I look at them, they move, then what I do is this. Whether it's my eyes or my head, when I do that, they keep on moving. They move, they stop. They move, they stop. But they stopped doing that. They told them not to. Only do it one time. Because they started to look like idiots. So, the idea of this, why I'm mentioning this to you guys is, you see, my life, it was a mockery was done out of my life. And you guys know that anybody that has the need to mock somebody, it's because they're afraid of them. It's because of their talents. They want to mock you. So I showed them that they're the idiots in the end. You know, there are people that are trying to be your people attacking you. I make them move like clowns for an hour if I want to. I'm in control. I'm the director. That's how you gotta do it. So always, this all day long in front of me. Anything to just try to, you know, boom, hype me. But now they've increased the number of people. At least they're walking like normal human beings, almost. They still look strange because they pick strange looking people that do strange things. See, they don't get them to hold hands now. They get her to rub his back as they're walking away from me, to tease me. That's a minor thing. It doesn't bug me that much. What really used to bug me is the noise, guys. Even movement. You can shelter yourself away from them when you go to your home. The problem is the noise. The noise. The noise is the killing factor. You don't want to see people? Go to your house. That's fine. Even though they're ramming the streets and everywhere you go with people that are stalking you, but that's fine. The most important element is the noise. When I sit at home, the neighbors' kids run heavily beside the door, back and forth. The neighbors stop in front of my door and talk loud for an hour. they have in the bathroom, there's a bathroom downstairs. I'm on the 16th floor. There's two, I don't know, I've seen them a couple times that live below me on the 15th. Every time I go in the bathroom, they get them to go in and turn on the faucet and shut. Listen to how loud she has to scream and her kids have to move. By the way, I noticed something about the kids. They've toned down their voice a lot, the kids. Even the kids are pros. Those little kids that you see over there that are 3, 4, and 5, you're like, they're just little kids. No, they're not. They're little demons. Even them, their voice toned down and their movement. Kids never used to move like that. They got much better. So even them, they're little demons. But we're beating those little demons. We have control. We can move them with our own eyes. So the idea is not to let this make you miserable. Even if you have to move. Oh, prep, the eyes did. Something has to move. And they've toned down the pointing, and see this guy scratches his head over there. Every time I show you a table or I point the camera at somebody, it means I'm looking at them. Everywhere I turn, as soon as I land my eyes on a person, you'll see movement. Look, 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 look how they filled up these places. Guys, these places are not that busy usually. I asked the guy back there, I told him, where's Mr. Greeks? You know, you got here Sulas and the friendly Greek, both loaded with people. For me to get in there, wait in line, everything. They got a lot of people in the city, a lot. The majority of the city. But they're still fake people. These are the workers that work at that place. Don't do that to somebody that's walking in. It's improper to treat a customer that way. For them to let someone in front of me that's in the lineup behind me, for them to take away the napkins and hide them, for them to, I asked for tomatoes, they put onions and they pretend it was a mistake. They over toast the bun. They undercook the chicken. Anything to keep you miserable. But they have to keep doing this to you. They're on your trail. And every single move you're doing, they're creating something there to counteract what you're doing. The opposite of what you desire. So if you like the bun toasted, you always get it raw. If you like, so when you have this entity on you, sort of always counteracting your, giving you the opposite of what you like. Guys, you won't last 2 days like this. I've lived like this for years and years and years. No wonder why I had to go on drugs. Even on drugs, it was a miracle that I was able to always be able to get it the legal way, get it prescribed by a doctor. And, it's a miracle. Bike over there, and she's standing there. So what they do over here, they blocked you pretty much. You have to bang into either her or the bike. It's a setting set up for you to get there and get screwed up, get irritated, get teased, get whatever. So he's trying to make me believe that he's planting these people here. I mean, yeah, he's getting them from all over the city. Most of them don't even come here. Half of these people haven't eaten Greek food in their whole lives. They're sitting on, you know what I mean? So you have to know that. Look at all the cars. Look. It's a Sunday. It's like 2 o'clock. Okay, Sundays people go out of their homes. It's not like this. So they're desperate. They're doing the impossible. Look. They're talking and moving. But there's easy way to get out of this, and it will be this week. Because they have to create this noise for me. I can't have peace. All I see is pretty much butts and legs in front of me all day long. And it's the way they're posing. It's not what they're wearing, guys. It's the way when I look. Wherever I look, which direction I look, I end up seeing that. Look. Strategically placed in a way for you to look at skin. It's pathetic. See, they cut down the movement. The worst is when women talk. They have such loud, high-pitched, piercing noise that it's just brutal. So I've taken you guys by the Danforth here today. I've never been down here, and this is what they've done here. That's why you see a lot of cars parked in front. There are parkings, there are everything. Now usually when it's busy with people, obviously it's going to get busy with cars. It's common sense. It's not up. See, now she came out and screamed. Now she's serving them. Look, I'm looking away and at her, away and at them, away and at them. See how she's moving her fingers too much unnecessarily? Look. See, she's looking back because they don't know what to do now. And the guy sits in front of me. The two on the bikes come and block my way so I can move. But this is the. I want you to look at the ridiculousness in this one. Look how she's gonna act. I'm looking away and looking at her, looking away and looking at her. Every time I look, she has to turn. See? Look, her head playing with her hair. Now she's playing with her hair. Look. Because I'm looking away and at her, away and at her, and she coughs. You guys know about the dry fake cough. She keeps on moving. Now she's gonna pick up the phone and tie back to them what I'm doing. But I have to pick a victim like this out of nowhere and do this to them, because that way they're not suspecting it. Because these guys are on my trail. Listen to the plates inside. They haven't stopped making noise with the plates as if they're doing the dishes or... Now they're banging trays. Wheelchair? Oh, almost the whole setting here is set up. Hear that? The plates in there? It's 2 o'clock. What are they doing? The washing plates? There's nobody in the restaurant. The plates are all on the table. So, oh, this guy, look, movement. I want you to look at that girl, though. She's gonna move. See, she'll always look to me. This is how you gotta do it. You gotta pick someone unsuspectingly and put a dog. As soon as I turn this way, what do I see? Look at that dog over there. It's not that these things exist in my environment. It's where I look. They're strategically placed in places as if you're walking down the street straight and somebody makes a noise on your right side here and you automatically turn, because when you hear noise you turn and then you see the strategic thing that they want you to see. So the reason why I'm recording this video today, because they changed the style a bit. I want you to see the new style. He's trying to be a smart ass. It's a guy who doesn't want to take yes for an answer. He's been beaten by one man. The whole frigging city is against me pretty much everywhere I go. Not the whole city. Now I'm here. So if you go back, you look back, let's say that way, 2 miles down. 2 miles. There's nothing there. None of these people, none of the charade, normal life, normal everything. Street either blocked off with something you see or something you don't. Either a fire truck or a construction or a cop, to keep the normal people out of my surroundings. Because if one normal person comes into this and looks around, he's going to be like, what the hell's going on here? Are they shooting a movie? Why are these people acting so strange? Why are all these trucks in here parked? And what's all this noise? Why is it such a noisy environment? Why do I feel stressed? Oh my God, I want to get out of here. That's what a normal person would do as soon as he comes into, if he ever comes into my world. He'll see the madness. It's a manufactured world to keep someone broken. Noise, stress. If it's a male, teasing with women constantly. Every second, I turn right, I see the kind of woman that I like. I turn left, I see that same again, and not just women. You guys know all the tactics. Lots of dogs, lots of dirt, lots of pointing and moving and noise. Women. If you like a certain drink, let's say you like strawberry shake, for example, and you're known for that. Everywhere you turn, when you barely have any money or when there's nobody around that sells it, you'll see a strawberry shake. So, that kind of thing, psychological warfare that I talk about the whole time, but weird colors that pop out of nowhere just to grab your attention to get you off your goal. Because, guys, if you have a job, especially if you have a life, you have a family, or even if you had just a girlfriend, or even if you had just a brother or a friend, someone that you can talk to, everything that I'm going through right now will be 90% less annoying, because you have somebody to kind of take you away from this madness. But when you're isolated by yourself, completely by yourself, with not even a soul to talk to or someone helping you. So they've toned it down a lot still, Not a soul helping you. What do? You can't even get advice when you're stressed out or when you're not thinking straight. You can't do anything. This is the tough part. And guys, I've beaten them in this situation. And huge economical warfare on me at the bank. I've shown you all the problems I've been through. Oh, we got the hands again. Oh, that's good. Yes, we got the holding hand still. He's still inserting a bit of fakeness into it because he thinks he needs it. Those are the elements that pretty much, they don't really, it's not a tease, it's a ticking, it ticks you. because you know it's fake and they're rubbing it in your face. You want to go there and punch both of them. It's a provocation more than a sexual tease or an emotional tease to try to show you something that right now you don't have, whether it's a relationship with a woman or a kid or friends all sitting around. You see a lot of groups sometimes where I pass. They're sitting there and laughing and joking, having a beer, and you know, kind of like sort of a friendship circle. You know, it's all this constant tease. Look, perfect car, eh? Red horn, Satan himself. But you know what? So far, I've grabbed both of his horns, and I've bent one of them, and the other one's about to come off. And then, guys, I don't like to talk like this. It's not my style. I'm a classy person. Usually I don't say words like these. But in this situation, we're going to make an exception. With one of the horns that's still hanging, I'm going to leave it hanging. The other one that I'm going to rip off soon, I'm going to take it and shove it up somewhere where the sun doesn't shine. Right under the tail. And we're in the process of doing that. So, wow. Looks like a tiger. Nice dog. Be careful. You guys like that one? But I have to do things like that because sometimes I don't shove it back into his face because I'm more matured. I ignore it. But sometimes you have to at least get in a bit with this environment and come out. But as long as you know how to get in and come out. If you get in and stay there, you're screwed. That means they distracted you. They got you off your goal. They nailed you. And the reason why I make a lot of these videos and keep talking and babbling like this, obviously I'm tense because of my surroundings, but it's to open up to you guys, to have somebody to talk to. That I know that somebody will listen to this video, at least one person. So it's a way of communication because I have nobody to talk to. I'm letting out my frustration and I'm sharing something with somebody that, oh, she almost stripped. Now, is it real or is it intentional? Who knows? But the quietness, it's amazing. Are you okay? So, that's how you gotta see it. You got to. The idea is to, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. You gotta find things to relax in my world because it's so tense the whole time. Basically, let me give you an example. I was hooked on opiates for the longest time, prescription drugs. That's what pretty much made me survive this hell for 15 years. The time I didn't know what it was. And then, guys, see, they make you forget sometimes what you want to say. Yeah. So now, what I do sometimes is, even if I get really stressed out and desperate, let's say I have only $100 and they turn on the car as soon as I pass by. You guys know this, you've seen it in all my videos. And I can get really, really desperate and I only have $100 and I'm supposed to buy with that food for the rest of the month. I will actually go and drink 3-4 beers in a row and spend 20 bucks. Why would I do that now? Why? It's not that intelligent. I have to organize myself so I don't, fall into a problem and then nobody will help me because I'm surrounded with enemies. Why would I do that? Because you gotta learn how to please yourself. You gotta remember you're surrounded within a weapon that's pretty much draining you a bit by a bit. In terms of, guys, we all have a certain what I call a good mood energy level. That when that starts to get attacked, when you go somewhere you get teased with something you can't get, and then you go somewhere you get ticked with something else, and then you go somewhere you crave something you can't get, and then you go somewhere somebody makes you angry, you go somewhere else somebody provokes you. What these are doing, these elements, they're draining that level for you. And when that level gets really low, you become so weak. If a fly lands on your arm, you go nuts. You have to replenish yourself and bring the energy level back up. That good mood level, what I call, the sort of the nurturing level, the level that needs to be nurtured. Because you get deprived from nurture. in every possible way. Whether it's dealing with people, or whether it's getting the food you like, or whether it's getting the comfort you need, the sleep you need, whatever. They're attacking all those things for you constantly. And the way this works is the first day, it's a joke, you don't feel anything. The next day, you feel it a bit more. The third day, a bit more. And then on and on and on till you get to a point where you're just, anything gets to you. You have to learn how to refill that level, nurture yourself, and trick yourself to enjoy the small things, and concentrate on them so much that when you get them, you feel like you're the king of the world. You have to be able to trick yourself pretty much in order for you to keep fighting, to withstand this constant warfare that's on you, with this eye that's pretty much right on your head that sees everything you're doing. If you like to, let me give you a good example for this one. If you like to just, how do I explain this to you? It's constant, guys. It knows everything about you in small details. And every single step you take forward, it's taking the necessary measures, this entity, to counteract your actions and give you exactly the opposite of what you want. The opposite. It's a disaster. It's hell, basically. If you could possibly create a hell for someone on this planet, this would be it. Couldn't get worse than this. This is Satan in his purest form. This is the resin of Satan. This machine that I've been surrounded with my whole life. That's the real Truman Show. It's not this goofy guy that's just saying hello and goodbye to everybody and smiling and this kind of nice painted fake world. It ain't like that, guys. All right, it's got nothing to do. It's the opposite. It's torture. It's basically, if you want to eliminate somebody in the most brutal, inhumane way, you put them in this world. And I was born into it. And slowly but surely, the bricks were being laid one on top of the other till it became this huge bubble that people on the outside, maybe to come in it, they have to dress a certain way, they give them classes, they have to act a certain way, they have to know what to do if they bump into me. Because most of my bubble, which is about 3-4 miles around me, is people I will never get in touch with. They're just basically there waiting in order for me, in case I pass by there, to do what they need to do. So the people that come into my path are designed for that to happen. You know? They're designed to do that. So look at the amount of cars. Look everywhere we go to see movement. They come out. She jumped out of the bush. I think this one, right there. So guys, it's okay though. At least we get some peace. If you notice from my voice today, the way I'm talking, I'm calmer. Even though I got a little bit excited, there have to with what's around me, in order to avoid it. So I escaped that world by coming into this one when I talk to you guys, opening up to you guys, that I know that I have someone listening to me. Because if you don't have any of that in your life, and I don't, geographically around me, guys, you will vanish in 2-3 days. We're social creatures, human beings. We're supposed to have contact with each other, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's psychological, any kind of contact. And we need to be reaffirmed about who we are. That's how your self-esteem goes up. If you're doing work, and you're seeing no result from it, you're gonna lose your self-esteem. But when you realize that the result that you're not seeing is because there's this dancing monkey on your back that sees in front of you and orchestrating everywhere you go, your surroundings, then you will realize that it wasn't you. And once you realize that, my friends, not only you will regain your self-esteem, you'll know that somebody out there thinks you're God. Excuse my language. I didn't say anything. I said someone out there thinks that you're that person. That's how much he's afraid of you in order for him to do this to you. Why else would he invest all that money, guys, over the last 40 years? I am 100% sure no less than $2 billion was invested on me. I'm not proud of that. I wish it never was. I wish I was just a normal person enjoying myself rather than having to live 40 years in this fucking torture bubble. At least to create all this, to block off the streets, to create excuses downtown and City Hall and this place and that place. Oh, there was an emergency, there was this, all those bullshit excuses in order to prevent me from meeting real people and tucking them in somewhere or getting them out of the building. Do you know how much money that involves and how much manpower, how many people are working on this? This is a world here in Toronto. A lot of people come from other countries here into this entity. At least 100,000. At least. Guys, if I die or if I disappear, about 100,000 people will lose their jobs. 100,000 minimum. That's minimum. Those guys that you see on the street that pass by me here and there, those guys are nothing. We're talking about people that have a regular job doing this to me, whether they drive, whether they work in the office, whether they work in the department in CSIS where this is organized, this special section in CSIS that takes care of this fake true life Truman show. A lot of jobs are at stake here. That's why this is done. Now, they're not saying that. They will use the excuse of to their employees that some of them may be humane and say, "We guys have to stop doing this, man. You're torturing this guy now. This is different." Back then, he didn't know. What they'll say to them, "Oh, well, do you know how many people throughout his life that he knows well live out there in the city now, normal lives? What do you think he's gonna do to them? Or what do you think, they're afraid? How can we let him loose?" Guys, it's an excuse. If I were to do something to hurt anybody, I would have done it a long time ago. When I found out that my own fake mother has been abusing me and we were living in the same house. I haven't even laid a finger on her. Because I'm strong enough not to do that. Okay? That's not the real excuse. The real excuse is so many people made a living out of this, raised families, and gotten used to it. This easy job that gets them all the easy perks and lots of money. They don't want to let it go. This is the reason why this keeps on going. Obviously, it's an order from the top too, because they're afraid. If I come out in real society and the word comes out, guys, you know what this is? This is pretty much proves that Hollywood movies are taken from real life and we're getting abused. Do you know how dangerous it is for these guys, for me to come out there in public and for this information to be out there? This is why I try to covertly, deal with them lots of times and tell them, just fucking end it, man. I'll make a deal with you guys. I won't open my mouth, and I won't. But they don't want to do it. They're scared. They're scared. They made the decision that we're going to keep this going until we end this guy. Whether we throw him in jail, whether we kill him, it's whichever way we can do it quietly. Princess Diana, I'm not comparing myself to her, by the way, guys. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm giving you an example of how these guys operate. Was a part of their family. And because she jumped out of, went out of line a bit, she even knew that they were onto her. She used to say it. They're planning to, she said, I don't know, the way she said it, planning to make an accident in my car or whatever. You know what I mean? And look what happened. This is who I'm dealing with here. This is not only Canadian, guys. It's done in Toronto. This has nothing to do with Canada. Obviously, the Canadian government had to approve this. But it's nothing to do that it's an entity of Toronto. This is intelligence agency work worldwide. Because they've done this to me in many countries that are all connected and work together. They've used me as an experiment. When you're an orphan, you have nobody looking out for you, then they can pick you up, just like they tell you in the Truman Show. A corporation bought this kid and started the show. Same thing, guys. And in Lebanon, Freemasonry is everywhere. My so-called fake dad and mother were within that entity. My dad was one of the 4. He was a bank manager at one of the 4 branches in all of Lebanon. Back in the days, it was big. So he was into the money system. He was in on it with them. My mother was sort of a famous stewardess that had her picture taken in German magazines. You know what I mean? Those two, a part of that Freemasonic realm, intelligence agency thing, came in together. They grabbed me, gave them to me, and taught them what to do with me my whole life. To give me a special life of torture without me realizing. No nurture, no care. No, a lot of people are going to say that out there. Well, I wasn't nurtured and cared for when I was a kid. Guys, this is different. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Not only no nurture and care, always surrounded, whether inside the house or outside the house, by special people to treat me a special certain way. It's fake. Move around a lot, I mean, the whole time, talk loud, every now and then keep me pissed off, stressed out, scream at me, whatever, threaten me. Guys, if I was a normal person, I would have been dead long time ago. I've realized lately how ballsy I am with all the threats that I've been through all my life on a daily basis almost. I've been threatened in a way. I've been abused covertly. You know, none of it was physical, even though I was stabbed twice by my own mother when I was 10 and with a kitchen knife. Because apparently I came home late. And why did I come home late? Because they gave me the opportunity to do that. And outside, they had their own people luring me into drugs and alcohol. I didn't take drugs, but alcohol, playing cards, and that was when I was 10. And when I came home, I took the beats for it. So it's this entity that has both hands, was giving me slaps from the right and the left to keep me in line. Oh, we got a little bit of moving legs over there. Swinging. I haven't seen that today yet. So guys, this interesting video today. I want to save some space on the memory card because I want to show you another special thing today when we get downtown. And yeah, anyways, let me continue a couple of things for you. As soon as I look back, you move, right? So it's as soon as you look, it could be any kind of movement, legs, arms, even an eyelash. It has to be a sudden movement. So then you can control it. You look back and forth, you can make them move like clowns for an hour. That's the idea. It's to make him look like clowns. See, he turned his head away, the guy in the car. I look back, I look over there. Now he looked down, searching for something. Look. Now he's moving his arm. Look, keep looking at him inside the car. Now he looks at me. You have to keep looking back and forth while keeping the camera on them. It's the only way. Because I think it's a signal. As soon as I look at them, it's a vibrational technology, whether I have a chip, I don't know what it is. But as soon as I look at them, by the way, guys, I had laser eye surgery twice in my life. For 95 on one eye, a correctional one for vision and for astigmatism and all kinds of shit. And another one in 2002. So basically, is as soon as I look at them, as soon as they get this view from my eye, they move. So what I realized is, okay, well, since I'm equipped with such thing and they're equipped to receive it, I'm gonna keep moving like this. So guys, I've seen people scratch their head like this, look. Kept on looking back and forth at them, back and forth. Look at this. Back and forth, they were like, I am not kidding. I have the video somewhere, I gotta show it to you.